I need to mention on the previous videos, which I never explained in part 1, these crabs, you'll see them in the shops for sale and in packs of 4. But one very important factor is these crabs are actually hand painted. So underneath here we've got UV orange. So if you're using a like a TT 128 jig head, you've got some UV orange painted underneath the crab. Or if you're using, well, even if you're using one of ours, the UV orange jig head will not shine through the darker crab. Also the claws in here, they've been hand painted in UV orange as well. I don't have a UV light in the shed, but the tips of those, where the actual muscle of the claw is, I don't know if you've ever seen a crab, they seem to have like a little bit of red meat there. Inside their nipper there's like a bit of red meat. Well, we've painted those with a bit of UV orange, so they will shine up to the crab, to the fish underwater. So they're not just a crab out of a mould. They come out of the mould, then they go through some hand painting. I'm sure you can see that in the bottom there. So that's a very important point to point out, just to give it that little bit more attraction to trigger that bite. We have 3 hurricane jig heads to suit the crab. This one's the hidden weight in the 1.3 gram. We'll be explaining the significance of the orange. We have a 1.3 gram jig head that is UV fluorescent orange as well on the base of the jig head. And we have a 6.5 gram model. I happened to find a 6.5 gram model. I had a few packets, so I thought I'd show you. You can see there's quite a lot of lead there. It's quite a heavy jig head. So for you guys that want to fish a bit of fast current or some deep water, this one would work a treat. You know, I would use this down at Holland's Landing in our lake system. It's probably the only area that really flows fast in McMillan Strait. I wanted to get that down there and when it's flowing fairly quickly. But I know from my experience fishing in New South and Queensland, you have some very fast flowing areas and deep where yellowfin brims seem to hold. This 6.5 gram model's the one you want. So we wouldn't use that so much in Gippsland lakes, but I'm sure you guys in other places around Australia will love that 6.5 gram model from what I've seen when I've been doing tournaments and stuff like that. Okay guys, we're back again now for part 2. Some guys have asked me how do you rig the crabs. Well, I'll show you on this jig head. The hidden weight one's identical. So I'll show you how to rig it so that crab is never going to come off your jig head, and you can throw that and skip it like a stone for, you know, 10-20 feet, no problems. So firstly, here's a 3.5 gram jig head, and we just insert that. So you put it through, there's a hole made, there's a locating hole. Find the penetration point, which is a little dimple there to put it through. It's already pre-aligned for you, and if you can see there's a little dimple there in the crab. Then you spin it, push the crab home, Get it past the little black plastic ball that sort of acts as a stopper. Then you'll push the crab back off and expose that point. Grab your super glue gel. You put one drop on the bottom, on the top. One drop on the bottom. And what happens is that slides the super glue right through the inside of the crab. And then you just get it round the back. The gel's great because it gives you a bit of time to work before it sets. And you just push it up there like that. Give that a few minutes to set, and that crab will not go anywhere. It'll be stuck there. You'll be going to get it off there, pulling with the most pressure you can. But I must stress, this is the glue. We've done a lot of tests working out which glues are compatible. This gel control is fantastic, but you can't just put it on the tail of the crab. You need to follow my instructions and put it on the front and push it through. This gel control would also be very useful for Z-Man grubs and stuff, I'm sure, because it doesn't affect the plastic like some of the other super glues do. So they're pretty easy to rig, and the jig heads come in 3 sizes. We have a 1.3 gram jig head, and we have a 6.5 gram jig head for those deep areas, and we have the 3.5 gram jig head. Cheers guys. Okay guys, I've given that crab probably like a minute to let the super glue do its work. And you can see I'm pulling on that crab like that's a lot of pressure, and it's not going anywhere. It's hanging on. We've also immersed this crab for over 24 hours in water to test that there's not a problem with the gel control holding. And if you follow our instructions, you can leave the crab in water for 24 or 48 hours and it'll still be stuck as hard as it is now. This Loctite super glue, I reckon every angler should have 1 bottle of this, the gel control one, in your tackle box. It'll be handy for many situations. I think I paid maybe $5.40 for that whole bottle for it in Bunnings. And yeah, it's money well spent. The gel is so easy to use, so controllable compared to the liquid stuff. Okay guys, here's the crab. We just rigged up. I'll drop it in this little tank we've got here, so you can have a bit of a look how it looks. You can see how the claws stick right up, and the claw points are very close to the barb of the hook. I'm sure that there wouldn't be too many bream out there that can resist that. It looks very, very real. Cheers. That's how you do it if you really want to go the pro version of hooking up your soft plastic crab, the Hurricane Spider Crab. Cheers. Okay guys, that's the end of part 2. In part 3 I'll demonstrate the skip casting ability of the spider crab, but I hope that gives you a really, really good indication of the crab, how to rig it and how it looks in the water. Good luck, and get out there and get the crab going and smack 'em guys. Smack 'em hard. Cheers.